No, you should never order a home inspection before making an offer because you might waste money on a deal that never happens. The seller may not even respond to your offer, and even if your offer is accepted, nothing is binding until contracts are signed in most states like New York. When do you do a home inspection? You should order a home inspection after you have an accepted offer, but before you have a signed purchase contract. You want to wait until you have an accepted offer because you don't want to spend several $100s before having some assurance that you might have a deal. However, you want to do your home inspection before signing a contract to leave yourself time to renegotiate a deal if something unexpected comes up during inspection. Who pays for inspections when buying a house? It is the responsibility of the buyer to pay for a home inspection. However, everything is negotiable in real estate, and in a situation where a seller is desperate, it is conceivable that the seller could be persuaded to pay for the buyer's home inspection. However, this is ill-advised for the seller as inspections are typically done before contracts are signed, in which case the seller could easily waste money on a freebie for a buyer who never comes through. Do you have to have a home inspection? You don't have to have a home inspection if you're buying a co-op or condo apartment. However, it's highly recommended that you do get a home inspection if you buy any sort of freestanding property. For example, it's uncommon to see home inspections ordered in New York City for co-op and condo transactions, primarily because co-op and condo buildings can have hundreds of units, which share in the cost of maintaining common areas. Should my offer be contingent on passing inspection? No. It's unnecessary to make an offer contingent on passing a home inspection because offers are generally not binding in most states like New York. It is quite common for buyers to try to negotiate after inspection, and there's no need to remind the seller that you may do so. It's better to make your offer as digestible as possible and as easy as possible for the seller to accept. Is a real estate offer binding if signed? Even though offers in most states like New York are relatively meaningless until an official purchase contract has been signed, you should still be careful about signing any sort of offer letter or form. In New York City, where offers are generally emailed with supporting documentation such as a REBNY financial statement and a mortgage pre-approval letter, there's generally no expectation for the buyer to sign anything. However, you have to be careful in some states like Massachusetts, where some offer forms may ask the buyer to sign. You should be very careful about signing any sort of offer form regardless of which state you're buying property in. That's because a signed offer form simply invites legal challenges should the transaction go sour.